Hi everyone, I'm going to make an original page today in my dictionary, and it's becoming quite hard to work here. It's turning very bulky, but we shall overcome. And I'm going to start with these paper napkins that, yes, I know they look boring and only black and white and grays, of course, but this is going to be what I'm going to build my background. And I don't care about what images I have on my paper napkins. I don't care that I have a fork and knife and bon appetit and whatever. And that's what is going to build my background. And this page is inspired by a quilt I've seen in Pinterest, but it's not going to be a copy. I don't even know who's done the quilt. Now I already separated the two white layers from each napkin, and what I'm going to do, I really don't care about the images. I'm treating it as blocks of color, and I really don't care. So I'm just going to cut all kinds of squares and rectangles and start building up some kind of background. So just starting and to cut my napkins. As you can see on this napkin, I've got two patterns, so win-win for me. I will have both on my, it will be more interesting this way. I'm cutting at the fold, not concerned about being straight. Quite randomly and even crooked. It really doesn't matter. So I've got lots and lots of pieces. This one I'm keeping aside because I'm thinking of using this image on the page in several places as is, and not I don't want to start cutting this into a square or something. So now I've got all these pieces to play with in my background, and I'm just picking one. I'm going to use white glue that I've diluted with water. I don't have measurement for you. I think it's 2/3 glue, 1/3 water, and that's how I usually work with paper napkins, but you don't have to. And it always varies. It does. Each time I buy a white glue from the cheap store, each time the consistency is different, so I just do what works for me. If I feel I need to dilute it, I will dilute it. If not, then I'll just keep it as is. Don't care about wrinkles. They are just adding to the whole thing. And I'm going to put this randomly on my page and gluing on top also. You can also overlap. Really doesn't matter. Just play with the pieces that you have to create an interesting background. most of it will get covered, so that's also a factor, and that's one of the reasons why I'm working randomly, because it really doesn't matter as long as you have interest in the background and variations of the pattern, but the pattern keeps repeating. Like if I have here dots, and I will repeat it in 2 more places on my background, it will work the same as the chevron and the lettering. It doesn't matter what is written. The only thing is that our eye will connect the patterns that keep repeating in the background. I hope I managed to explain myself. Tucking it into the fold here and getting out of the edges. I will trim later excess, and I need here more glue. You know how it is, no matter what, there is never enough space on your work. Here I have a fork, and it really doesn't matter that I have a fork. Here is a fork again. So I want more lettering. So I'm taking this piece and adding it here and overlapping. I like it. Here is another one. I need to put the bulldog clip again because my page is curling. Okay. Dots. Let's see. Let's put some dots here. Circles, whatever. Chevron. Where do I want to put this? I already starting to like what's going on this page. Quite interesting, all the shapes and black and white and grays. I'm trying also to change directions, and so I won't have a fail of a movement that is only horizontal or vertical. I'm just laying the pieces as randomly as I can. No thinking too hard. so this is going to take some time to cover everything, so I'm thinking I'll just pause the video, continue gluing all these pieces, and then I'll come back. Okay, so I've got my background, which is still wet, but I want to add from this napkin, as I said before, and I basically want this shape on several places in my background. What I'm going to do, I'm going to open the paper napkin, and I want to take out this shape and only this shape, so I'm going to take some fine paintbrush, and I'm going to put it in water and just go around my image. It's hard to see because this is black. If it was any other color, you would see what I'm doing. So I'm going around the shape that I want to take out of the napkin, and I'm doing it this way because I don't want straight edges, and that's the way to go about it. Here we go. Gently I'm taking this shape out. I think I'll put here just a little bit more water. Here we go. And I think I also take, it's the same shape but only cut here, so maybe I'll take this one out and use it on one of the edges of my page, instead of taking a whole shape and cutting it to fit. So I'm thinking one will go like here, and I can put, let's bring it here, and I can do one here that goes out of the edge, and I want another one that is in full, so I'm doing the same repeating the same thing again, just going around the shape with the paintbrush and water. Trying to work quickly just so I can show you what I'm aiming for. Okay, so I'm thinking another one here, or maybe, let's see, maybe one here, and now just one more here. Let's see. And so again, taking one that is on the edge of my napkin, not really concerned about accuracy here, just adding another element to the page. So that's what it's going to be. I'm just going to glue this down, wait for the whole thing to dry, and then we'll start building what I have in mind with lots of colorful paper. I'll be back. So this is finished, and now I want to put well, my focal images, if you like, and I took all kinds of painty papers I have. This is just wipe up of excess paint and stamping with excess paint. I've got all, this is old jelly prints that I've added all kinds of details on top, and so I just picked several to play with. And what I'm going to do, I want some flowers here, very colorful flowers, and I'm going to start with cutting some leaves. And as you can see, I've picked a dark green and a lighter green, so I will have interest to the leaves, and the other painty papers are for the flowers. So what I'm going to do is, first I'm going to clipping this over. I don't care about where it will be. I'm just drawing some leaves in all kinds of sizes, like so. Maybe I will need more later, but for now this is what I'm going to do, and just cut them. I don't even have to be accurate, I just need it to be in a shape that of a leaf. And I'm going to do the same thing on this one, only here I will try at least to do them smaller, because I want them on top of the darker color. So this is basically it for the leaves. Very freehand, very loose, nothing needs to be accurate. So what I'm going to do is take each time one piece of the lighter color and put it on top of the darker color, and I can play with the placement, and I think it will give me a lot of interest to my page. So that's the leaves. For the flowers, what I'm planning to do is just cut loose circles. They are not going to be accurate at all. As you can see, I'm just doing it by hand. And for the flowers, I'm thinking of doing like 3 layers. So let's see if I've got this one. I'm tracing it here just so I will have reference, and I can cut a smaller circle. Again, very freehand, not accurate. So now I have another piece here, and they are quite dark, so I'm not sure that's what I'm going to do. Maybe I will change the placement and take a piece of this or this, so I will have more contrast between the layers. For now, again, I'm going to take this piece, trace it here, again to have reference, so I can cut a smaller piece. Now that I've cut basically the shapes that I want to use, I can also use them as templates for the other flowers. Even if I want larger or smaller flowers or leaves, again, this can be the reference. So I'm going to switch this one to be the next layer, because now I've got contrast between these two. And this one I'm going to cut smaller now. Here we go. So that's my first flower, something like that. And of course you can use whatever you have. You don't have to have painty paper, you can use scrapbook paper, whatever you've got. just use what you have. So basically this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to only the leaves are going to stay quite like this. The flowers that I want more on this page, I will switch between the papers, and we'll see what what I can come up with. So I'll go and cut more of these flowers, these circles, and I'll be back. I'm back. So it took some time to cut all the pieces and gluing them down and figure out where everything goes. But this is it. This is the layout. Everything is glued. Now I want to make my flowers to stand out more. I was thinking about toning down the background, but I don't really like it. So I'm waiting on it. First I'm going to take a permanent marker and just go over my pieces like so, and give each one a black contour like so. Again, doesn't need to be accurate. I can also doodle on it if I'm feeling like it. Right now I just want to see if going over the edges of all my pieces will be enough, because I really like the contrast between all the black and white in the background to the colorful pieces that I've glued on top, so I don't want to tone it down. Of course, if you do want to tone your background, you can take gesso with a little bit of water and go over everything, or any acrylic paint, again with a little bit of water and go over everything. But now I'm looking at it and it seems like it's taking shape, so I'll probably won't need to tone down my background. Maybe if I've used lighter colors of painty papers or whatever other paper, then it would have stand out more. I think my kids are losing it. It's good that they are going back on the 1st of September to back to school. So I'm going to continue doing this, and then I think I'm going to take a step back to see if it needs anything more, and I'll be back. I'm back. So finished, decided not to doodle, not to tone down the background. I quite like it as is. I'm leaving it be. And the only thing that I want to add is a word here, and I've got this craft foam letter stickers, and I didn't like the colors that I had, so I just went over it with an acrylic paint, and I'm just going to stick it here. I hope I'm in frame and you can see what I'm doing. And they are very flimsy and a lot of time give me trouble, but that's what I had right now, so I'll just deal. Here we go, last one. Joy. For me this is pure joy. I like doing this kind of journal pages, so I think it's fitting. And I'm just going to take the marker, and I'm not going all over, I'm just giving it a little definition on one side, something like that. This is it. That's my page. I hope you'll try your hand at it and do something of your own. Thank you for watching, and thank you for leaving me comments below. I'll be seeing you in my next video. Bye for now.